Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sandra Hayashi with Fathom Realty. It's Wednesday afternoon, and this is your weekly Wednesday Lunch and Learn. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys are all inside, warm and dry on this yucky Wednesday afternoon. I am going to recap what we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. We are in the topic of finding your lender. Hi, Tarsha. How are you today? Finding your lender and working with the lender in your home transaction. First week, we talked about how you find a lender, and that's either with the referral from a friend or trusted coworker who may have already used a loan officer in a transaction, or with the realtor that you're working with. And the realtor can give you the name and information of a loan officer that they work with. They usually like to pair you up with someone they know that has a loan program that matches the type of loan that they think you'll be qualified for or would best fit your needs, because there are many different loan programs and not all lenders do the same type of loan program, or some have a better specialty at that or do better at that program. And then last week we talked about all of the documents that you need for your loan closing. And I have posted in my Facebook page, and I'll bring it back to the top again today when we're done, a list of the most common documents that you need for the loan application and how you should have them all ready for your lender so that you don't hold up your transaction, because that's one of the things that is probably delays closing most often in a transaction, is when you are not getting your documents to the loan officer in a timely manner so that they can process your loan. So that list will be in my Facebook page. You can just click on the link and it will pop up a whole list of the most common documents that are there for you to see. So let's see, what else have we got? Let's see. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what you can do and what you should be doing once you've actually found your home and you've started the loan process with the lender. You will have filled out the loan application. They will have already pre-qualified you, and then you'll start giving them all of those documents that we talked about last week. Your taxes, your work history, your W-2s, all of those things that you need to give to them. And then the things that you need to be doing during that time as you're waiting, because there will be a waiting period that you'll just seem like things go on forever and you're never going to get to closing. But you should be conscious of what you're spending. Make sure that you're trying to save as much as you can, because during that time you'll be doing things like your home inspection, and that will be money that you need to give to the home inspector. And we'll have a whole another topic on home inspections and the whole real estate transaction part of it. Next month we'll start that. And so right now you should be watching your money, saving what you can so that you'll have that money that you need at closing, and then that you'll have money when you close to do the little things that you want to do to fix your home up and make it your own once you move in. Those little things that you'll need: curtains, blinds, little odds and ends that you may not have had in your other home or apartment, just to make the new place your own. So save your money and watch what you're spending. And then things like, let's see, look at my list here. I don't want to forget anything. Don't open any new credit. Don't go out and walk into a store, and especially one of the department store, and you come up to the counter and you've got some stuff and they say, oh, if you open one of our credit cards today, we'll give you a discount. Don't ever do that when you're in the loan process. Any new credit's going to trigger a look from the lender to maybe even have to pre-qualify you, maybe even change your debt to income ratios, maybe even kick you out of your qualification altogether. So don't do anything. Don't go out and start shopping for the furniture ahead of time and open up a credit account with the furniture thing wait until after your close. There are so many times that people have lost their home because they went out and they bought furniture, a car, a diamond ring because they wanted to get engaged just before they moved into their new house. Those are all lovely ideas, but if you lose the house, then what's the point? So be very careful on what you're spending, and don't do it. Just if there's something that you think you need, say your car dies and you have to go out and buy a car, talk to your loan officer first before you do anything like that, because that's very important. Don't ever do anything credit-wise without talking to your loan officer first. That's the big thing. You just don't do anything without talking to your loan officer or your realtor before you make any big decisions like that, because the surprise is probably one of the worst things that happens to us in the end. Make sure that you're always paying all your bills on time. They always check right before closing. They're going to do another soft pull on your credit right before closing and make sure that you're still qualified. So make sure that you do that. And if you've got a late payment there at the end that all of a sudden pops up, that could kick you out of qualifying too. Late payments are the death of you. So be careful about that. So pay everything on time. Don't quit your job. Don't ask me why people would think that that's okay to go ahead and quit their job right before they buy a house, but people have done it. So just don't even think about that. If you're going to do something like that, it's not the thing to do, but wait till the day after you buy the house, because then, you may end up in foreclosure 6 months later, but, don't do it before don't do it at all. Make sure you've got another job before you quit the first job. That's always the thing. It's easier to find a job when you have a job than to find a job when you're unemployed. That's just the way it is. So, let's see. And don't put any cash deposits into your bank account that are $100 or more that you can't explain. Say, you want to bet from somebody and they gave you, $150, or, you were in a football pool or some kind of pool at work or something, or I don't know, you do some kind of side job that somebody gave you cash for. Don't put that money in your bank account if you can't explain it, because those just throw up red flags, and the feds are very careful about money laundering and all that, and the bank's going to want you to explain it. So if you get cash, use that for groceries, and then just make sure that it's your paychecks that go into your bank account, and anything that you can explain, because if you say it's a gift, then you're going to have to write a gift letter, and the person that gave you the money is going to have to show where they got the money from. So those are all things that have to be proved. So you have to be very careful about what you're doing with your money. You may say, well, it's my money, I should be able to do what I want. Well, it's not really. It's oversight on everything that's going on, because you are borrowing money from a bank, and they have to make sure that everything is on the up and up when they're doing this. So you just do what they say, suck it up, live with it if you want to buy a house. That's, I don't want to sound harsh, but that's the way it is. So let's see what else we got going on here. And never co-sign for somebody, a family member or a friend or anything like that, because that obligates you just as much as it obligates them. So if for some reason they stop making payments, you're going to be responsible for it. It's going to show up on your credit report, and it's going to affect how you qualify. So make sure that, and if it's somewhere in the past that you have signed for somebody, see what you can do about getting off of that loan. See if you can get them to refinance it, take your name off of it, get them to pay it off. Do whatever you can to get your name off of that loan before you start making a loan application, because that affects your credit, and it affects how because if they stop paying, you're responsible for it. So don't do that. Even, I hate to say it, even if it's a kid, as much as we love them, they've got to learn to stand on their own, so don't do it. Always follow the loan officer's instructions. A lot of things that the lenders do have time frames to them, and they have to be done in certain times. So if they send you a document that needs to be signed and they say, I'm emailing you this and I need you to open it up and sign it, do it right away, because if they don't get these things signed in certain periods, then it could delay your closing. You have to receive your closing documents 3 days prior to closing and open them and acknowledge them in that 3-day period, 3 days before. If you don't, then you're not going to close when you think you're going to close. And that's going to be your fault. It's not going to be your lender's fault. So make sure that you listen to what they're telling you and do it. Everything needs to be done right away. If you have a question, ask them right away. Ask your realtor. If you can't get a hold of the lender, call the realtor. Ask somebody the questions and do everything as soon as possible. Don't just think, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow, because tomorrow may be too late for that, and you could have to wait another whole 3 days for them to reissue everything, throw everybody off. And sometimes there's transactions that have 2 or 3 homes involved. You know, one person's selling and they're buying another, and that person, and if you're delaying, you could be delaying, 3 or 4 families from buying their home in the time frame. And people having to stay in hotels and delay their rental trucks and all of that. So always just try and do everything as quickly as you can. I know sometimes things happen. You got a job, you got to work and all of that, but if you can do everything as quickly as possible, it's really important, because that's how we get things done. And let's see, what else have we got here? Also, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's a big deal. Aside from getting married, it's probably one of the biggest things you'll ever do in your life. So ask questions. Don't think that, oh, that's a stupid question. I shouldn't ask that. No question is a stupid question when you're buying a home. If you don't understand something, make sure you ask somebody and have them explain it to you until you do understand it. Because if not, then somewhere down the road, it's going to become a big deal. It's going to become a problem, and it's going to get even worse. So just make sure that you understand your whole transaction. If you're working with somebody that doesn't want to explain to you or can't explain to you, then maybe you're not working with the right person. Sorry to say. But you need to have people that can explain the transaction to you and in simple language that you understand. So make sure that you understand everything you're signing. There's a lot of paperwork in it. It's hard to read everything that you sign, but you always get copies of it, and you should always get copies of everything that you sign so that you can at some point. But everybody in the transaction should be able to explain to you what they're asking you to sign and giving you that copy, so that somewhere down the road you can sit down and have the opportunity to read it and go back and ask questions about it. So make sure that you do have those copies and that you go back and look them over and ask questions about anything that you see. The other thing that you'll be doing while you're waiting for the process is you'll be thinking about who you want to use for your homeowner's insurance. You have to have homeowner's insurance on your home, your new home, when you're going to buy it. So you should be shopping around for homeowner's insurance. First place to start is whoever you have your auto insurance with. Then the other place is to ask your realtor or the loan officer who they might recommend, because sometimes they'll be working with people and they'll see quotes come in and people that are getting pretty good deals on homeowners insurance, and so you might want to shop around a little bit and maybe even consider changing, because you can sometimes get a good bargain package deal on home and auto together. So I know I've been rambling for a while today. Normally I stop for a minute and say hello to everybody. I haven't said hello to anybody. Bill Hughes, Bob Border, Rita Fiesemeyer, thank you guys for joining me today. This is Sandra Hayashi. I've been talking about lending. And I hope that if you guys have anybody that you think this might help, that you'll share this feed and have them go to my Facebook page and download that document on the list of documents they need, although a lot of you guys are lenders, so I know you have your own that you'll send out. So, but I would hope that if you like what I'm saying here, that you'll share this with your clients. And let's see what I've got to finish off here today. We talked about insurance, and then we're going to, next week, I am going to talk about the differences between the appraisal that the loan officer orders, the home warranty that is something that many people will get in the contract, and then the home inspection, which is done by a independent third party. So we're going to talk about all the differences between those three: the appraisal, the home inspection, and the home warranty. So I hope you guys will join me next week. Hope you enjoyed today. If you have any questions, send me a message. Leave me a message here today. And try and stay warm and dry out in this weather. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye.